Cyberpunk Update 2.3 is finally here, and I'm going to be telling you everything that was announced today that you'll be seeing added to Night City. It has been a tedious wait to say the least, and it is nice to see that the update is finally here. However, a lot of comments have been saying that they are pretty underwhelmed, and we're expecting a little bit more from this update. There are some pretty awesome features being added, no doubt about that however, so I'll run you through them today. A lot of the speculation that was in the air, a lot of the rumours, some were right, some were wrong, that's just the way it goes, so let's see what we actually got right. Before we do start guys, it turns out only 0.3 of you who actually watch my videos are subscribed, so if you do enjoy Cyberpunk videos, please be sure to consider subscribing. I'll be covering everything in regards to 2.3 and onwards, so make sure to stick around. So right off the bat of the stream, they gave us this image and pretty much just listed everything that was going to be added, so let me just read that out to you. Auto drive Delmain taxi service, new vehicle and quests to unlock them, additional crystal coat customization, extra twin tone paint jobs, expanded photo mode options, quality of life improvements, and improved HDR settings. So I'll run you through each of them one by one. Officially releasing tomorrow on July 17th on PS5, X and S, and PC, as well as that brand new Mac release, but the Nintendo Switch 2 guys will have to wait a little bit as they're trying to refine some details with it. The main thing I took from this whole announcement is the fact that we are going to be getting new vehicle quests, where you're going to be able to complete quests all around Night City and get a unique car for it. With this, you get the first ever customizable bike, a brand new supercar, and apparently this truck that can absolutely wreck everything. It is the very first weaponized truck in the game. For me, this is, like I said, the most exciting addition for this whole 2.3 update. The fact we are still getting brand new quests around Night City is a massive bonus for me. I feel like with these new quests, it's just nice to see the world being touched up upon. It's just enough to keep it feeling fresh for me, almost giving it that second coat of paint over time that it kind of needs. So as well as that, the new update massively expands vehicle customizations. You're able to actually change paint jobs and have been expanded to cover almost every car that makes sense to be customized. 205 paint jobs and 168 patterns have been added to the traffic for you to scan and unlock. It was also mentioned during the stream that one of these cars was teased in a Cyberpunk comic book. I'm not kind of tapped into that scene, so it was kind of written in the stars that this would be added. Another big feature is the Delmain taxi service that is now in the game. You can quite literally call a taxi to your destination, very similar to GTA, and it'll just quite literally take you there. Pretty simple but effective feature that allows you just to cruise around Night City. As well as that, you get the bonus of Johnny potentially showing up right next to you as well, which is always a nice thing. With that as well, when you are in one of your own personal vehicles, you can now actually press a new button prompt to enable automatic road follow. As well as that, it states that there's many little quality of life improvements, which is always added throughout every single update, so I'm excited to see what they are. And finally, for all of the people who do really love photo mode, because I know there's a massive amount of the community who actually really play the game entirely for photo mode at this point, there's been an overhaul where you can actually add numerous NPCs to your images, which for me is a fantastic feature. I'm sure many of you guys will make something pretty creative with that, and I could also maybe use it for some of my thumbnails as well, so I'm pretty happy with that. And yeah, that is pretty much it. Obviously we'll see a lot more when it's actually being played tomorrow in game, but for me the quests are the part I'm looking forward to the most. We did predict that many of the new quests would be coming to the game, and yes, they are here. Whether they are very detailed or not is yet to be seen, but I am looking forward to playing them, and fingers crossed they are quite detailed with some new characters and some cool stuff. That's all you can really ask for. So the main talking point coming out of this whole palaver with the 2.3 update is that many people seem to find it a bit underwhelming, and I'm sort of in agreement with it. However, I do still think that some really cool stuff was added that is definitely worth checking out. It seems that the two things that people were most upset about was the fact that New Game Plus wasn't added, and as well as the addition of third-person mode was nowhere to be seen. I did say in many previous videos that I didn't necessarily think these two things would be added in this 2.3 update. I think if it was going to be added, that would kind of be the focal point around the entire update. We did see a lot of car teasers, especially yesterday in the tweets, so after I saw that, my hope levels for those kind of features went down. However, that isn't at all to say that they won't be added in future updates. I think New Game Plus is a very realistic thing that we can ask for as a community, and I don't see that not being added in the future, especially with more updates coming. However, with a third-person mode, I think that one would be a little bit trickier. You got to understand that the game isn't optimized for a third-person mode. It has always been made with first-person with the main priority. So my thoughts on the whole thing, I'm pretty obviously happy that we are getting consistent Cyberpunk updates. I've said in many previous videos that these guys didn't necessarily have to keep doing it for us. However, it is down to people like myself who have hyped this update up a lot, so if you do feel disappointed, I suppose that's not something that anyone can have a go at you for. Everyone likes to get excited for these Cyberpunk updates because we love the game so much. I'm not too fussed about feeling disappointed or anything. I don't feel like I set myself up for failure. Obviously, a lot of the videos I did talk about a lot of rumors of what we maybe could see. However, I'm pretty fulfilled with the fact we are getting new quests. That's the main thing I kind of wanted that was in a realistic expectation zone. It's very easy for us to say that we want multiplayer, we want this, we want that, but it takes time, and I think that we're going to see more little updates like this roll out over time so they can spread this content across a bigger timeline. You gotta think there is a long time until Cyberpunk Orion, and their sort of priority right now, since they're developing that, is to probably just keep this fresh updates coming on the side of Cyberpunk 2077, just to kind of keep the lifespan of that going as long as they can. I wouldn't feel too overwhelmed. Yes, we didn't get the things that you wanted today, such as New Game Plus being the main standout thing I saw so many people upset about, but I can absolutely guarantee you that one day it will be added to Cyberpunk 2077. As well as that, it's going to be added to Orion. Everything that you guys want to see in this game is going to be in Orion and more. The purpose of these patches are to mainly fix in-game bugs and just to top things up. Now, I didn't really feel like there was many things in-game that necessarily needed fixing. Now myself, I haven't personally experienced any sort of game-breaking bug, so I can't really comment on that, but I can totally imagine there's a lot of little bugs and tweaks that they want to make that people report in that they just want to keep up to date and make the game as perfect as possible. I know it was against their will, but I think the worst thing that these guys could have actually done was in fact delay the update. As soon as that delay came out, I feel like a spike of interest came around this update because people felt like maybe there was something bigger in the scene. People probably thought that they were trying to refine something like a third-person mode. They were trying to refine something like a New Game Plus, and as a result of that, people like myself who were excited about the update made videos on it, possibly maybe increasing the hype a little bit. Overall, I don't blame you if you are disappointed about this update. Maybe you did expect more, maybe you didn't. Maybe you knew this would be a little patch with a few quality of life updates and a few cars, etc. I'm very happy that we get new missions. I think it is yet to be seen whether these missions are in depth and in detail as I want them to be, but I'm just grateful we are getting more content over time. Like I said, guys, don't be too disheartened if your favorite feature wasn't added in this update. This game has still got a lot of life to give, and over the years, I'm thinking that we're going to see a lot more content added to this game. But just to quickly summarize what we are getting with this update one last time, it is a medium-sized update adding some immersive features, obviously coming out tomorrow. We've got the new vehicle quests coming, the new auto drive feature, as well as the new taxi feature, quality of life improvements, and a lot of new additions with photo mode. I'm going to leave it there at that point for you guys to go into the world of Night City once again and explore and check these features out for yourself. Let me know in the comments, are you kind of disappointed with these features? Did you expect a little bit more coming from this update? Or was you remaining pretty chill through the process and expected an update of this size to come out? Personally, I'm going to be checking this update out as soon as I can tomorrow. I'm also going to be trying out the new Mac version of Cyberpunk, which is going to be very interesting to see how it runs on my MacBook Air because I have no idea how well it's going to actually play. They worked wonders on the Nintendo Switch too, but I'm not too sure about my MacBook, so we'll have to wait and see. Thank you very much for sticking around as well for this entire update saga. I know I have made a lot of videos on it, and it's nice to finally be at the end of the road and get some content we can actually sink our teeth into. Thank you very much for watching and have a great rest of your day.